Hello and welcome to the Open Platform. When the clashes began in July, people of bordering Tavush region received support from different state agencies, institutions, private companies and individuals. However, there were also the priests from Armenian Apostolic Church who came to help the people in need from the first moments of shelling and fighting. Today I will talk to Bishop Bagrat Galstanyan, who is the primate of Tavush Diocese of Armenian Apostolic Church. Bishop Bagrat, welcome and thank you for joining us. Bishop Bagrat, how did the church react on the recent situation in Tavush?
First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity once again to talk about the importance of our region, Tavush region, which is the border of Armenia, the gates of Armenia. And I have to say that Tavush has the longest border with Azerbaijan. It's about 300 or more kilometers. And we have 23 bordering villages, around 40,000 people living in the villages, and children and adults alike. And before stating or talking about the recent escalations and conflict, I want to say that this is our natural place, natural state, and the church is not separable from the ongoing processes in Tavush, whether it is the conflict with Azerbaijan or amongst the people living here. And I want to say that this situation is not new for us. It has been continuing for about 30 years since the beginning of the war in Nagorno-Karabakh and in Artsakh and surrounding. Our borders have always been constantly been under the fire, and our people have been living under the threat of being shot or fired or shelled, and it has become our daily life, our everyday situation, our everyday life. The recent escalations are not exceptions. We had similar escalations throughout these 30 years, and specifically in 2015 for about 2 times, in September, and then it continued in October. Again, around 1 week, 10 days, where there were intensive firings going on. And what I want to mention is, it happened during the pandemic when the global humanity was very concerned about healing the process of pandemic and facing the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. Our neighbors, it is even very difficult to call them neighbors. I would say our enemies, because during this last conflict, they showed again the face that instead of conflicting with the military forces, they have directed their armaments towards the civilians, peaceful civilians. And it shows the true face of the other side, of Azerbaijani forces or military or political establishment, that they instead of fighting with the military forces, they are preferring to kill, I would say, to kill or to threaten, scare the people, the civilian people, peacefully living civilian people. And coming to my statement when I said about the pandemic, it happened during the pandemic, and it clearly articulates, expresses the true image of our neighbors neighbors who are not friendly with us, our enemies. And instead of making solidarity with whoever, they are trying to again continue the line that has been going on here for 30 years. Coming to the church participation, I would say that there is no religious connotation. This should be very clear. This conflict has no religious color or connotation. It is about human dignity and human rights and peaceful settlement in the area. And we have always been serving and caring, providing pastoral care for our people and the soldiers that live here. And this escalation could not have been possibly any kind of exception. And uh, we have been living with our people, and we will continue living, whatever the needs are, and specifically the spiritual needs. It is our support, our prayer, our care, our pastoral care, and always encouraging our people to face the challenges that we have in this region.
Thank you very much. You mentioned about the role of the church in general and pastoral care, but can you tell us what should be the role of priesthood in the emergencies, whenever emergency happens?
Well, the priest is the first person who is appearing, who should be always in the first place, in the area where there are conflicts, where there are troubles, difficulties, any kind of difficulties, with its prayerful presence, as well as with its support and encouragement and comfort. And that is the duty and calling of our priests. And living, whether we live in Tavush or we are dealing with the bordering difficulties and challenges, it in reality it doesn't matter. It is our general calling to be with all vulnerables and all those who are in need. The need can be identified in the sense of spirituality, physical needs, economic needs, cultural, uh, interpersonal relationships. I mean, in general terms, wherever there is a need, any kind of need, it is our calling, duty, and responsibility to bear it, to be the first on the side of our people.
To deal with the emergencies, one should have special preparation, kind of a training or special trainings and other education past. How prepared are the priests of Armenian Apostolic Church, and then namely Tavush diocese priests, prepared to respond to the emergencies?
Well, we do not have a special training to deal with the emergency situations. I mean, we are taking it theologically or doctrinally, since our entire life is an emergency situation, and we do not have a special training for that. As far as Tavush region is concerned, our priests have been living in these conditions for about, I said, 30 years, and they know how to respond. Also, we are collaborating with the provincial center, with the provincial responsible persons, with the governor, with all the structures that we have here, organizations we have. We are co-working with different other organizations, international or local organizations, I mean Armenian organizations, who are dealing with the security issues of the region. And that gives us additional support and knowledge, also to be trained on the feet, let's say, and also to respond the situations such as the recent escalations that has become, in a way, our natural living. So I would say, coming to be more precise, we do not have a special training process, but we are collaborating with all the organizations that have the skills, also have the knowledge, and also have the experience how to deal with the emergency situations such as the recent events.
And can you tell us what was the most challenging for the priests in the latest events and in emergencies general? What is the most challenging for you?
The most challenging were the bombings, where we didn't know where to go and how to gather, how to make people be more secure and safe, because there were bombings around all the villages, as far as long as far as the town, regional town of Bert, which is more in the beyond the
Not
border
directly on the borderline, yeah.
border escalation or borderline. And that was the most challenging situation. And we have been, despite all that, despite the fact that we were under, the entire region was under the bombing, Bert region, we have been trying to visit the people, visit the houses or village centers, and also try to exhort our people to be in the safe places, staying with them, praying with them, talking with them, and trying to also kind of make them get out of the stressful situation that they were in, or we all were in. And that is the first, and the utmost calling and difficult situation we had.
Now let me shift to another topic. I know there are social centers established by some dioceses of Armenian Apostolic Church, and they are supported by the Armenian Roundtable Foundation. And Tavush Center is called Arevik Center. Please tell us about the activities of the center.
So we have two centers in Tavush. We have established two centers, social educational centers. One of them is in Ijevan, and the other one is in Noemberian. And the one in Ijevan is called Arevik, and the second is called Paponstun, paternal house, let's say, home. And it is supported by the World Council of Churches Roundtable Foundation in Armenia, and I would love to seize this opportunity and thank the president and the entire staff of the Roundtable Foundation in Armenia, and also make very clear that there is a very strong collaboration going on. They're supporting us financially, educationally, developing skills, and these centers were designed for the vulnerable kids and vulnerable families to make them feel comfortable in the region or in the town. But we have shifted and changed the general, I would say, general process in a way that we have made this as an integration program, trying to integrate and bring not only vulnerable kids or vulnerable families into these places, but also all those who are not very vulnerable, so that we would integrate them together, where there are studying together, praying together, also going on different pilgrimages, and also they are getting food here, eating here, and they have special times for that. We have different activities going on, such as batik, making batiks, or painting, or pottery classes, language learning classes. We have media literacy classes, and also we have organization called TELIC for the mothers, specifically for the young women who do not have jobs here, but we are trying to bring them. Some of them are the parents of our kids, of the kids who are attending classes or attending programs in the center. And also the basis of all these activities and classes are Christian spiritual education. So we believe that without spiritual education, without Christian education, all those activities will remain in the sphere of sort of social activities. But this is not a place for only, and the church calling is not to make only social place. It is a social educational center based on the spiritual and Christian education.
Now,
where there is dignity of human being is cherished, and everyone should recognize in each other the talent, the quality of human beings, instead of looking at the social status.
In the beginning of our conversation, you talked about the coronavirus and the pandemic situation. And I would like to ask you what programs and projects has Tavush Diocese implemented in this period for those people in need who survived coronavirus socially?
We were lucky to have also the support of many organizations, individuals, and I would love to mention the paramount support and presence of the Mothercy of Holy Echmiadzin under the blessing of His Holiness Garegin II, the Catholicos of all Armenians. We have first reacted by distributing needed food to all those who were not able to come out of their houses and go and do their necessary purchasing, such as the families that have many kids, and the families that have had elderly who could not basically come out of, and they were in the risk zone. And we were supporting also participants, all those who have been attending or were participants of our social educational centers, in collaboration, as I said, with the provincial authorities, and also in collaboration with different organizations such as Roundtable Armenia. And there were individuals who have been helping us or supporting us financially, sending us different kinds of clothing, and we have been able to assist around 2,000 families around in different towns and villages of Tavush. And also, during the first days, our TELIG, the organization TELIG, made necessary masks, around 6,000 up to 8,000 masks, and we have freely distributed it, again by the support of the World Council of Churches Roundtable Foundation in Armenia. So there were two ways. First was to distribute the first necessary food and clothing, and the second, the parcels of food and clothing, and big parcels, I would say. And second was to provide the masks that were utmost needed by the people, and these were voluntarily made and distributed to the people.
Bishop Bagrat, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and for providing the platform to explain and talk to the audience, general audience, and I wish you all the best and God's blessings for making this channel to convey the truth and the messages that would enlighten the society in general.
Thank you very much. This is Open Platform of Armenian Public Television, and I was talking to Bishop Bagrat Galstanyan, Primate of Tavush Diocese of Armenian Apostolic Church. Thank you for watching us.